Good day, my viewers. Welcome to another episode of my YouTube channel. Today I have a very beautiful guest with me, the CEO of Isaac Agro Ventures. I would like him to introduce himself to the viewers.
Hello viewers, good to see you again. My name is Isaac Oluwalade, the Chief Executive Officer of Agro Ventures Limited. Isaac.
Thank you very much, sir. Nice to have you here. And according to his field, he's an agronomist and he even wrote a book. So I'll be asking him questions about agriculture. And today's topic is agriculture as a lifestyle, because over time I've realized that youth are drifting away from this particular thing called agriculture, and I want it to come back to limelight, and I want the CEO of Agro Ventures to shed more light on it. So sir, I have a few questions for you here, and I want you to answer and let the viewers have a good understanding. Why do you think agriculture should be taken seriously in this society and this century that we are in?
Yes, very good question. Agriculture should be taken seriously because it is the life wire of any human existence. Number two is the most important sector, especially in Nigeria and Africa as a whole, that employs the highest number of labor. And three is a support to government finances because it's a very stable source of foreign exchange for farmers. And of course, it provides sources of raw materials for our various industries. So think of anything, agriculture is key.
Yes, I agree to that. Agriculture is good because I did agriculture, animal science. So agriculture is very, very important. So another question, sir, why do you think youths of nowadays shy away from farming and the aspects of agriculture? They think it's a thing of a nomadic farmer and just holding cutlass and wearing tata clothes and going to the farm and tilling the ground. Why do you think youth shy away from it?
Yeah, thank you. You see, the very mentioning of the word farming is scaring to use. So I want to correct that expression. It shouldn't be referred to. Agriculture should not be referred to as farming. Agriculture is agriculture, and it's a business. It's an enterprise. So the moment you refer to it as farming, then youths are bound to look at it as if it is the cutlass and whole thing. No, it's more than that. It's beyond that now. We are talking of revolutionizing agriculture. We are talking of mechanized agriculture. We are talking of scientific agriculture, where you have to employ the latest technology in the world to boost either crop production, either livestock production, and so on and so forth. So the moment you have the right perspective and you let the youth know the benefits inherent in agriculture, I'm sure they will come into it.
In the same vein, sir, you said something. You said agriculture is an enterprise. Please, can you let the viewers know the benefits and the things they can derive from doing agriculture, and they should not see it as just farming and maybe having you are opportuned to have a plot of land and you just decide to farm, and because they see agriculture as just farming and just to while away time. Please, you said it is enterprising. Can you give us some points?
Okay, thank you. Yes, agriculture is an enterprise because it's a source of livelihood. You can make a living from agriculture. That's number one. Number two, youth must be looking at all the areas of the value chain. Now, when you talk of value chain, I want to use an example. Cocoa, for example. It starts with the production, the planting, and all of that, then the harvesting and the processing. And of course, you have the areas of chemicals, sales of chemicals, you have sales of farm produce, you have marketing even in agriculture, and so on and so forth. So if it is poultry, for example, you have if you are dealing with rearing of chickens, you start with a point of lay. You can be into production of day-old chicks. You can be into supply of day-old chicks. You can even go into feed production. You can go into
Even
eggs,
rabbitry,
piggeries, and all of that. You can go into marketing of
and
those
there are
products.
lots of byproducts.
Yes, byproducts that you can go into without necessarily going into the huge business of piggery, for example. There are areas you can key in, and so on and so forth. That's why it is an enterprise. I'm happy to let you know that people are getting more involved and they are making livelihoods from it.
Thank you very much, sir. Sir, so with these points of yours, do you see Nigerians trooping into agriculture in the nearest future? Because with the look of things, everybody see all they have in their head is crude oil, is oil and oil, and every other thing, maybe textile, maybe buying and selling and all those kind of things. But in the nearest future, do you see youth especially trooping into agriculture and making something good out of it?
Yes, the likelihood is very, very high. And let me also say here that oil is bound to dry one day, either we like it or not.
Definitely.
Number two, the price is dipping, it's reducing every day. People are finding alternative uses to oil, and so demand for oil has also gone down. So the natural alternatives will be agriculture, and the government has a role to play to encourage use in agriculture. They must provide rural infrastructures, they must provide good roads, they must provide electricity, etc., etc., and of course soft loans for youths that are interested in agriculture. If all those ones are done, then I can assure you that within a very short time, youths will continue to troop into agriculture.
Okay, thank you, sir. Sir, you retired from ADP, Agricultural Development Project, and you were a boss, a director of seed and seedlings, I think.
Yes, technical services.
Technical services, and you also worked at IIT, International Institute of Tropical Agriculture, and you wrote a book about cocoa. So please, where do you think agriculture is right now in Nigeria and worldwide as a whole?
Let me start with worldwide. Worldwide, government of various nations have come to realize that agriculture is the way to go, and they are supporting agriculture and they are subsidizing agriculture. But in Nigeria, I must confess that we are not there yet. We have a lot of lip service to agriculture in terms of budgetary allocations, in terms of implementation, and so on. Therefore, I want to advise, especially the government, that they must year in year out provide enough budgetary allocation for agriculture. They must be ready to support mechanization. They must be ready to subsidize agriculture. Otherwise, farmers will be producing at a loss. So government should be ready to start to subsidize agriculture in terms of input, in terms of soft loans, loans with little or no interest, and so on. In USA, for example, the rate on agricultural loans is about 1%, whereas in Nigeria today is between 20 to 30%, even in some places higher than that. So they really need to look into that. My days in IT has also shown me that we need to deploy technology into agriculture so that we will rank among the best agricultural nations in Africa and, if possible, in the world.
Thank you, sir. Sir, with my little experience, I've realized that all these young farmers, all these nomadic farmers, they fold up eventually. Some people complain of markets, some complain of bad roads, some complain of no funding from government. How do you think, apart from government helping them, because so many people depend solely on government to boost their businesses and their farming, apart from the help from government, because what if government doesn't do anything? We have a lot that government is doing. There are lots on their neck. There are several sectors that need their help. What if government doesn't do anything? What do you think these farmers can do to help themselves?
Thank you very much. This is a very, very important question. Worldwide, there's nowhere government is responsible for direct production. Government can only provide the enabling environment, and those are the things I've mentioned. Provide a level playground for operators, provide resources, provide light, electricity, good roads, and all of that. But the bulk is on the individual. The individual must be determined that I want to make a success of what I'm doing. They must be forward-looking, and they must plan before they go into any venture, and that is very, very important. And they must not be discouraged. If they have some teething problems, you know that it's everywhere. There's no area of life, no economy is without its own ups and downs. The same thing in agriculture. So if you are faced with some little challenges, don't give up. Continue to improve on what you are doing, and believe that one day you break even. And lastly, you must have the fear of God, and you must ask God to bless your endeavors.
Thank you very much, sir. So, sir, what is your take about agriculture for basic? Because I think agriculture should be introduced from day one, from primary school, secondary school, because while I was in secondary school, it was optional. It's either we pick agriculture, or we pick food and nutrition, or we pick fine arts. But I think agriculture should be a subject, a compulsory subject on its own, should not be optional. What is your take about on that, sir?
Yeah, thank you. It's as if you know my mind. From time immemorial, I've been writing a lot of papers on schools in agric, or agric in schools. And most of my papers dwell much on making agriculture compulsory from primary to secondary school. At tertiary level, yes, it can be optional, but at least the basic knowledge will have been there. And that has been my stand. I pray and I hope that one day a government will wake up to look at this and implement it. If that is done, one, you are going to create the interest of the youth in agriculture. Two, you are going to give them the knowledge, the technical know-how of agriculture. And number three, there will be sustainability. And nobody will look at agriculture just as a pastime.
Thank you, sir. So, sir, as the CEO of Isaac Agro Ventures, what are your plans, or what are you doing at the moment concerning skill acquisition programs on agriculture?
Yeah, at Isaac Agro Ventures, we are basically into capacity building. We train our partners, and we carry out training of trainers for them to go and train their staff. And I'm happy that they are benefiting from my experience, and it will continue like that. We are also into production of variables and other crops, even some small poultries. We are also into other types of businesses as far as agriculture is concerned.
Thank you, sir. So, sir, concerning sustainable cocoa production and certification, which is your book, I don't know if the viewers can see this. Sustainable cocoa production and certification. The author is Mr. Yeeeeeah. So I don't know if you can tell us something about this book, if you can brief us a little bit and let us know what it's about, because I know it's going to be beneficial, it's going to be good for secondary school and even tertiary institution students. So I don't know if you can tell us what is in this book.
Yeah, thank you. This is a very big one. Sustainable cocoa production and certification is born out of my experience in the cocoa sector in Nigeria, in West Africa, and the world over. And I discovered that there are lots of gaps in terms of literature in cocoa production and certification. Yes, thank you very much. It shows that you've also read the book and you've imbibed it. Now, anybody that has the opportunity of having access to this book will be vast in production, will be vast in processing, will be vast in value addition, and will also be vast in the health benefits of cocoa. And lastly, the certification aspect, because the world over now, cocoa must be certified. And when you certify your cocoa, then you make a lot of more money than the cocoa that is not certified. So in a nutshell, that is about the book, but it's also going to be useful for secondary school students, going to be useful for graduates, it's going to be very useful for lecturers who are engaged in the training of students, and of course, and more importantly, going to be very useful for the industry people, the people that grows cocoa, the people that buys cocoa, and the people that processes cocoa, and the general public at large who consume cocoa products.
Thank you, sir. Sir, if I won't be revealing this book, because I don't want to talk too much about this book, while launching this book, this book was launched, I think, 2 years ago. While launching this book, someone said, or I think you or the person that reviewed the book said, there are so many chemicals that are being used for cocoa that are not supposed to be used, that have been outdated, or they are very poisonous to plants. So in case for people that won't be able to get hold of this book, for viewers that won't be able to buy this book, can you tell us those outdated fertilizers or chemicals that are not good for cocoa or any kind of plants, and give us the new ones?
Yeah, thank you very much. That's a question that we cannot address on this program for two reasons. Number one, the chemicals, the names are there are many. I cannot begin here to mention their names. We won't live here today. Both the names of the banned chemicals and the name of the approved chemicals. Number two, I don't want to go into as if we are marketing the products of those companies that produces those chemicals. So my advice to viewers would be that let them approach the nearest office of ADPs, Agri Development Projects, tree crop units, and of course, if they can have access to CRIN, that's Cocoa Research Institute of Nigeria, they will get all the data there.
International Institute of Tropical Agriculture.
But I advise that they should also try to have access to this book. It's very cheap, and they get.
It's very cheap.
They get everything they need from there.
Thank you very much, sir. It's been amazing speaking with you and you speaking to the viewers. Thank you very much for it's great having you on our channel, and I hope that next time we invite you, you will gladly come. You will honor our invite. Thank you very much, sir.
Thank you. It's my pleasure to be here.
This is Mr. Yeeeeeah, CEO Isaac Agro, and I am Oradi. Thanks for watching. Bye.